Hey everybody, so today I'm going to be doing a day in the life. I've gotten a lot of requests for this, whether it was a mom of three or my kids being in preschool or exclusively pumping, which I'm doing right now. So you're going to hear that in the background. But if you can tell by my fabulous hairstyle and the wonderful lighting, this is going to be a hot mess. This is going to be so much reality, and I think that's the reason why I haven't done one. Today is actually Lexi's 6-month birthday, if that's what you want to call it. I don't know. She turned 6 months old today. And I definitely wanted to do one of these sooner, but I just feel like our lives are so crazy, especially in the morning when we're getting ready for preschool, or I don't know, just in general, that I'm just like, no one wants to see that. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I thought things would be different. I thought things would be like more organized and put together. And she's 6 months old and we're still figuring it out. And we have kind of a routine, but the routine is not really like crazy efficient or anything. It just like manages the chaos basically. Um, I don't know, this is like the best angle I could get where the glare wasn't super horrible on my glasses. I know before in Day in the Lives I've not worn them so you guys could not have that distraction, but I'm to the point where I can't see without my glasses, so they have to stay on and I don't wear contacts, so here we are. But yeah, it is about 7:40 in the morning and I'm pumping. Normally my big girls are already up, but we went to bed a little late because we were at grandma's house last night and they went to bed a little bit later than typical, so they should be getting up at any time, and if they don't by 8 o'clock I will go in and I will wake them up. And Lexi is also sleeping, which is kind of unusual as well, but that's because she got up quite a bit last night. I think it was because she didn't eat before, like while we were at my grandma's house she wasn't really eating, and after we got home that's when we put her to bed. And I don't know, it's just like if she's not eating on her typical schedule when she's awake, she totally makes up for it in the middle of the night. So it felt like she was up quite a bit last night. I checked the outlet, but there's just like a chunk of time missing. I don't know, like in the middle of the night between like 2 and 5. It's just gone. I am very tired, that's all I know. I have been pumping for 9 minutes. I do typically try to get out here around 7:30 and start pumping because it does take me about 30 to like 40 minutes to do my morning pump because it is the largest. Sometimes I do pump that long too if I'm trying to increase my supply or something like that, but typically it doesn't take that long. But I do try and get out here and do that so I can be mostly done, or at least have like one boob done by the time the older girls wake up. So yeah, if you are new to my channel or my videos, I do single pump. This is my third time exclusively pumping for our third little girl, and I'm using the Lancino Smart Pump 2.0. That's my favorite pump. I'm trying to think of what else. I try to stick to every 3 to 4 hours. I honestly do not track it anymore. I just go off of a feeling. Like I said, it does typically take me around a half hour to empty both sides, 15 minutes on each if I stick to that schedule, longer if I don't. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's important. I already said I was 6 months postpartum today exactly. I know in the past for Days in the Life I have not shared what I made because I'm an oversupplier. I didn't want people to feel like they were comparing themselves to me. What I do is not normal, and I still agree with that. However, this time around I will be showing you, but it's because I have significantly less of an oversupply with Lexi than I did with Remy. Remy I had the most oversupply, Sophie I had the least. This time around I'm somewhere in the middle. I can see Lexi's moving around in the monitor, but I don't think she's up quite yet. She's starting to get up though. She's starting to get up. So I might have to pause here in a second and get her. But yeah, I will be showing you guys, but I need you to understand that oversupply is not normal, it's not typical, it's not what's average. So There she is. So I'm going to take a break real quick. I'm going to go get Lexi, change her diaper, bring her out here, and probably go wake up the big girls too. Because even if it's a few minutes earlier than 8, they can get up. It'll be okay. So I'm going to go do that. Alright, Lexi Dean is up. Hi! Her hair has a mind of her own. It's her daddy's hair. His does the same thing. Don't judge me for it. Doesn't matter what I try to do. That's what it was. Had to get her a new outfit though because she had a blowout in her diaper that went all over the rainbow sleeper that I wanted to take pictures in today, so I'm gonna have to clean that. Also, if you do watch my videos normally and you notice a little bit of a quality change, I am using my older camera because I will absolutely not chance carrying around my brand new camera everywhere I go, because I've had a history in the day in the lives before that I drop my camera and I break things, so I'm not gonna risk that. So we're kind of going back to old school quality. Still good, but a little bit different than what you might be used to. The big girls are up now. They kind of woke up while I was getting Lexi ready and she was making noise, which typically happens. But they're up, they're getting changed, and they're gonna eat soon. I don't know if it's anybody else's, but I've noticed this is normal. They just talk to each other and mess around, and it's hard to tell them to do what they're supposed to be doing when they're like making each other happy. But hey, panties on. Okay, but you're also playing with the baby, and that's not what you need to do right now. I don't know if it's with anybody else's kids, but I've noticed ever since being in preschool, mine do not really like a big breakfast anymore. I was making it for them, and they were not eating even half of it. I have found that they like their little protein bars and like a piece of fruit in the morning with some water. And they're good to go. And honestly, I have to make them eat the fruit because they won't eat anything other than a bar. The little Annie's protein bars you might see in my grocery hauls. See, I'm being told right now to open up a bar. They'll continue to get ready while I'm pumping, eat, get dressed, everything. Basically, all I'll have to do is their hair whenever I get done. And I might offer a bottle to Lexi, but honestly, she should be fine because I fed her at like 6 o'clock. And she probably won't need fed until we get back. But typically when she does wake up with me, I stop halfway in between pumping and I give her a bottle while I finish the other boob. But this morning's a little bit different if you couldn't tell. So I'm going to get off here, make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, and I'll check back in probably after preschool drop-off. I don't know. We'll see if I can get anything in between there. Are you so happy for your 6-month birthday? Are you so happy? 6 months old today, Lexi Dean. Yeah. Okay, so it's almost 8:30, which means we definitely need to be leaving, but I made 18 ounces this morning. Like I said, this is not normal, average. You're supposed to make what baby eats. This is way more than my baby eats. I have an oversupply. I'm going to say that every time because I want to start beating it into people's head, because I don't want to be one of those accounts that people look at and try to be like, because creating just as much as baby's eating is what is supposed to happen. So I made her a bottle that has 5 ounces. She definitely won't eat the whole thing, but I'm going to give that to her before we leave. She can hold her own bottle, so I will give that to her while I am doing their hair and everything else. This is a bottle with a whole bunch of extra milk. I made a tiny little Medela bottle in case she gets hungry before I pump again, which sometimes can happen because she goes about every 2 to 3 hours with eating. So if it's sooner than I pump, then I have this sitting out for her that is 4 ounces that she probably will eat. And then this is most likely going to go into the fridge, but I won't put it in the fridge until I pump next, if that makes sense. And I already put my pump parts in the fridge because I am not donating to a milk bank this time around, so I'm doing what I want, and I just rinse out my parts, put in a plastic baggie, and they are in the fridge. But like I said, I'm going to give Lexi this, I'm going to finish doing their hair, and then we are all going to get loaded in the Subaru and go drop off at preschool. Okay, so we just finished with drop off, and I'm not sure how noisy it's going to be for you guys. I'm really surprised that the camera looks as good as it does sitting where it is in my car. I could never do this in my old car, but see, there we go. I've got you next to a little bag of granola. We're just trying to make sure it doesn't shift or fly all around my dashboard. So yeah, it was a little rough this morning the girls didn't want to leave Lexi or I. And that is Lexi saying hi to you from the back seat, apparently. Sometimes they could care less that I'm not going to school with them, I won't be there with them, and that I'm going home with Lexi, and other times they are very emotional about it. So it's just kind of depending on their moods, and this morning was a little rough. And I wanted to get a coffee because even though I'm not really a coffee drinker, I apparently sometime after Lexi was born got myself addicted to caffeine. So now if I don't have caffeine throughout my day, I get these mind-splitting headaches just like my mother. So I was going to get a coffee, but I forgot my wallet at home. I don't have the Dunkin' app, so I will probably just leave the house a little early so I can get one before pickup. And that way I can have my caffeine, and hopefully a headache doesn't start before then. So if we can just be 100% about something. During Sophie's first year of preschool last year, obviously there are set times to drop off and pick up your kids from school. And if we can just keep it 100 for a minute, last year I would see parents who would be well past the drop-off time and well past the pickup time, and not in a super critical way, but still, if we're being honest, in a judgmental way. I would be like, why can't you just make it at the pickup time or the drop-off time? Like, why is it that big of a deal? And then I had 3 kids. It's because chaos is a thing, and you just like never know people's circumstances, honestly. Like, having 3 kids has given me so much more humility and like humbled me and made me stay out of other people's business, because mind yours. Like, I just have a new respect. I am a stay-at-home mom, and both my girls are at the same preschool, and I still can't even get to the drop-off and pickups on time, you know. It's given me a new respect, especially talking more with the moms, and like me saying, oh my gosh, like I try to get here on time and I can't, and like that kind of opens the door to talk to others about it. And you learn that somebody has their kid in high school, someone has their kid in elementary school, and around here in Ohio where I'm from, most of the time that means completely separate schools. So we are doing multiple drop-offs and pickups and stuff like that. I shouldn't say we, that's not me yet, but next year when Sophie does start kindergarten, I will have to drop her off at school in an entirely different town, and then drop Remy off in an entirely different town at preschool. And that's a whole lot of driving around in the morning. That's a lot of getting kids ready for different schools. They need different things and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm kind of in a better spot than that because both my girls do go to the same school. They need the same stuff every morning. I know what to expect, and I'm going to one place, and I still have trouble showing up on time. But it's because I have 3 kids, I have a baby, I need to breastfeed, like all this other stuff, and you just don't know. So the moral of the story is, if you were me a year ago and you were wondering why people can't come on time to pick up and drop off, no, we're trying our hardest, but things happen. So I'm a little anxious about next year because I've had several moms tell me that it's pretty difficult having their kids in completely different towns and schools and stuff like that. It just makes for a very hectic morning. Mark warned me that I probably wasn't gonna like doing this, and I don't know that I'm not gonna like doing it. I would rather drop my kids off them being in their 5-point harness than on a school bus. I have no issue with public transportation. I took the bus from the time I was in kindergarten, so I have no problem with it. But if I can, since I am a stay-at-home mom and I have the luxury, I would like to drop them off. So I don't think that it's gonna be that I don't like to. I think it's just gonna make for a very hectic morning, very crazy morning. Oh no, the baby's getting upset. We're gonna be home real soon, Lex. I think she wants a nap. I think she wants to finish her Bobby and take a nap. Bobby is bottle. I don't know when that happened. It just did. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a little anxious about it, but for now, I just try to make my mornings work. Like, we were 5 minutes late today for drop off. Thankfully, at our school, teachers are super sweet about it and they understand, especially for the moms who have kids in multiple schools. They especially understand. They shouldn't understand with me. They should tell me to get my shit together and that I should
just be dropping my kids off at the right time. But they don't, and they're understanding, and they're very nice about it. So I try my best, and some mornings I do make it on time. Actually, last week I think there was even a time where I was early and I sat in the car for 10 minutes. It was magical and wonderful. But most mornings I am either exactly on time or I am late. So there's that. I try my hardest, but you know, I feel like with each stage of parenting, it's given me a new respect. Like, I think I had that mindset back then, last year, because I was a new mom to preschool. You know, like, I was new to having kids in school. I didn't understand it. And I feel like each time I'm, like, get more seasoned in a new stage with my kids, I start to learn a respect that I didn't have before for that stage of parenting. You know, I didn't understand last year because I had no idea, but now I'm a little bit more in it and I can understand better. But I mean, I'm sure there's those moms who, no matter how many kids they have, no matter how many schools they go to, if they're all in completely separate towns or whatever, they're all gonna be perfectly on time. And I love that for you. That apparently is not me. And this is what I look like most mornings too. Got sweats on entirely, wearing my outside Crocs. I have outside and indoor Crocs. My fuzzy luxury ones are like my house slippers that I wear around the house while it's winter. Those suckers are way too hot during the summer. But I do have outside Crocs because even though it's a very American thing to wear our shoes indoors, I try not to. The rest of my family doesn't listen to me, but I try not to. When I do get home, I have to, she's asleep. She's asleep 30 seconds away from me pulling in my driveway. When I do get home, I'm going to give her a nap and let her finish her bottle. She will probably fall asleep, and that will allow me to send out an email that I need to do, actually two. And then I also would like to take some pictures for this app that I found. I'll just put the name right here because I can't remember it off the top of my head and I will not look at my phone. But it's basically where you take pictures of your kids' artwork and then they will compile it all into a book, or you can even get like mosaic printouts to put in frames and like whatever you want, whatever one. And it'll label it for the year and everything, and I love that because I do keep some things that I can laminate and things that I really want to keep, but some things I can't because they're too big, or I just don't want to, like, I do but I don't. Like, I want to keep it in my head but I don't need it in my house. I know everybody understands what I'm saying. And I told Mark about it and he was like, why don't you just keep everything? And I'm like, you're cute. You'll get there. When you have to be the one to unload the backpacks, you'll understand. Because the stuff they bring home, adorable. Love it. Love seeing their progress. Love seeing their creativity. FedEx is at my house. It's shocking because they almost always deliver it to my neighbors. So to see them at my own house is just a sight unseen, basically. I think I know what it is. I think it's my new midday pump that I just ordered. Bye Bye Baby said it was going to be here today, but I ordered it on a Saturday and I did not expect it. This is my mind. Do you see? Bouncing from thing to thing to thing. Oh, and the Amazon stuff is here. That's great. Okay, so before I go inside, I will also mention tonight we are watching Frozen 2. There was this whole big thing. I wanted the Blu-ray, the digital, the DVD, the whole set. I had pre-ordered it. There was like this mix-up. I thought I'd get it from a different town, and then that didn't happen. And then I said, screw it, I'll just buy the digital copy, which I could have done 2 weeks ago, but I didn't do because I thought we'd get the hard copy, and here we are, just late to the game. But the girls don't know any better. So I ordered popsicle molds because I found frozen yogurt, like Frozen 2 yogurt, and I'm gonna put those in popsicle molds for them to eat. So I am going to make that with them when they get home from preschool, and then tonight, whenever Dad gets home, probably after Mom pumps and everyone can be settled, we are gonna watch Frozen 2 together. And this was actually his idea. I mean, I wanted to do something like this, but he was looking at me the other day, just like out of nowhere, we were making dinner, and he's like, when we get Frozen 2, can we like make it a thing with the girls and do something nice for them, and I'll watch it together and stuff. So anybody who pities him for being an all-girl dad, gentle because he embraces it all the time. So yes, there's a whole bunch of Amazon and other packages on my doorstep because this household has a problem. So I'm going to take that stuff inside, take the baby inside, and probably check back in whenever I get everything situated. I wish I could set a better example, but this is just how things have worked out. I don't love it. I think it's part of my hesitation of why I haven't made one of these videos, because I would love to come on here and tell you guys that after I made my update about, you know, losing ounces because I wasn't on a schedule and I was pumping when I wanted, how I wanted, and all that stuff, you know, that I could come back on here and say, I'm not doing that anymore. And I'm not, but to a point I still kind of am. I don't pump when I want, however I want, but I do not also schedule it either. I am trying to be more go with the flow, not super strict about it, focus on just feeding Lexi, and that's it this time around, because that's about the only amount of give that I have. I cannot afford to be stressed about this with all the other stressors in my life. So that's why I'm still kind of following a schedule, but I'm not. And at this point, my boobs can feel it. My boobs start to tingle when I need to pump between that 3 to 4 hour mark. So I typically know. But there's also times where I push it, like when we came home from my grandma's, and, you know, whenever we're out and we want to do something, and, you know, times where I can get away with 5-6 hours, but I don't make it a habit. I'm not going and doing that multiple times a day. I'm not doing it several days in a row or anything like that. I try to make that very far and few between. I'm not perfect. I don't even think I'm a great example of what you should be if you're an exclusive pumper, but I'm just trying to be honest here, just like I always am. So enough with the rambling. Sorry this is all over the place. Like I said, welcome to my life. So let's go inside, get this stuff done, get this baby in an appropriate sleeping arrangement, and I don't know why I'm grabbing that. Let's just go inside. Here's what was in the packages that I brought inside. So Mark got a brand new iPhone. He got his new phone for the first time in 4 years, and he decided to go with the OtterBox, but it came with a little belt clip. How cute. He'd be like Dwight. There we go. But I think he'll like that. He was looking for a pretty sturdy case, but he doesn't like bulk. I think that's about as good as you're gonna get. The inside feels really nice and protective too. This is his third case. He's trying to make sure he's doing everything he can, but that's his case. And then here's the popsicle molds. They're supposed to be like those twin popsicles that you can break apart. I like them because these look the most sturdy for if the girls did want to eat them one at a time. Like the handle wasn't super tiny, hard for them to hold on to. There's holes all the way down to the very bottom, so the popsicle's not going to slide right off the stick. But this is the yogurt that I got. So when they get home from school, we're going to put those in there and make our own popsicles for tonight. And then here is the pump. So for anybody who's annoyed with the sponsorships I get, don't be, because it pays for stuff like this. I take that sponsorship money, I put it right back into my channel, buying something expensive like this to try out for you guys. So I will probably do an unboxing later sometime this week, just whenever our busy schedules allow. Basically it'll probably be the video after this one, so keep your eyes peeled if you want to see what's in this Freestyle Flex, the new Medela pump. So I'm excited for it, but I'm just gonna put it in a room and try not to look at it until I can open it on camera for you guys. Gonna get her out and situated and do some work, like I said. This right here is a prime example of why I get nothing done. I went to go do the stuff I needed to do, except first I was picking up stuff around the living room. I thought it was an empty can of Code Red that Mark had last night, but apparently it was full, so I dropped it all over the floor. Just buy one of those. Just life tip. Also, if there's stuff underneath my couch, if there's toys or food or whatever, it's not actually there. It's an illusion. That's the game that I now play. If my kids don't want to pick it up from underneath the couch, neither do I. Alright, it's a little wet still, so there's lines in the carpet from that, and it looks a little bit darker than the rest of the carpet, obviously being wet, but it came out. I mean, stuff like that normally does, unless you let it sit on the carpet. then I'll probably stain it, but that literally just happened. I didn't even try to soak it up with a towel. I just went and got this thing. Some things are just better to do it that way. And my experience with using my beloved Bissell Little Green, who saw us through the stomach flu of 2020 as well. So it's a good little champ. Got a lot of good things to say about him. I did bleach this thing before using it around the rest of my house too, by the way. I clean it out by letting it soak up hot soapy water in the sink after I rinse everything. And when we had the stomach flu, I ran bleach through it because I don't do germs. So yeah. Now let's get to the actual stuff I wanted to do. There's the app that I'm talking about for the artwork. It's called Archive, and basically you are able to upload pictures of your kids' artwork. I haven't done any at all yet, but you see what I mean? I have all these paintings from school and worksheets and stuff like that that are just way too big. So I am going to switch lenses off of this camera to my new camera, try and get as much detail as possible, send those to my phone, because my cameras can do that. The Sony AX line has Wi-Fi built into it, so I'm able through an app to transfer them to my phone. If you're ever wondering why it looks like I have really nice pictures, it's because I take them on my camera and I just put them on my phone, and then I upload them to Instagram. Anyways, totally besides the point. I'm going to do that for like the next 10 minutes, try and get as many pictures as possible. Lexi is finishing her bottle right now and hopefully gonna work on a nap. If not, she'll nap on the way to preschool. But yeah, I need to do that because pretty soon I'm gonna have to pump in order to leave on time and get coffee before I pick them up. So let's do this. All right, it's 11 o'clock, which means it's time to go. I got about 7 ounces from both boobs right now. I'm gonna put a bottle together for her for later, and then put the rest in this bottle, put the milk from earlier into the fridge, and then change her diaper, put her in the car seat, and go. This she probably won't eat until later. She's probably gonna nap in the car, hopefully pretty well, because she did not end up napping, even though she sat right here while I pumped, but she was not interested in taking a nap today, maybe a little too wound. So yeah, I'm gonna put this stuff away and get going. Okay, so we are now home from preschool pickup. As you can hear and probably see. Can you say hi? Hi. So, they're all back there. And I thought I would give a little bit of a rundown before I go inside as to what our day is going to entail. It's 12 o'clock right now. So, probably going to go in and get them lunch and then try and get Lexi to nap. And then after Lexi is napping, they're finished with lunch, we can make those yogurt popsicles or whatever you want to call them for later. And then once we're done with that, I will probably try to wash bottles, put away the 2 baskets of laundry I have, stuff like that. By that time, I'm sure Mark will be getting home, and when he gets home around 3 o'clock is the best lighting for us to take Lexi's monthly pictures, I figured out. So we'll want to do that, especially because she is 6 months old today. So we'll be doing that, and then probably after we get done with that, we'll watch Frozen 2 and do all that stuff, and then have dinner and kind of end our day more normally. Typically, whenever he gets home, I try to do all the stuff I couldn't do with the kids, but thankfully I had an afternoon where I didn't have to do much because I'm filming, not editing and uploading. Also yesterday, instead of filming while he was home, I cleaned, I did a whole bunch of stuff, so there wasn't a whole lot I had to do around the house today because I knew we wanted to do this Frozen thing in the middle of the afternoon. So we're gonna be doing that, and I did end up getting my Dunkin'. I got like the pink velvet stuff. Tastes like dirty caramel. I don't know. Dunkin's not my favorite, but I drink it especially just for the caffeine, but I find their coffee very bitter and I don't really enjoy it, but like I said, I need the caffeine, so here I am. Probably just stick to caramel. Not a fan of the pink velvet. How our afternoons go after pickup all depends on what I get done while they're at school.
Love you.
It's like I can't be really that annoyed because she's trying to make her sister laugh, but still, the amount of weird sounds and noises and screams and screeches, it's a lot. Anyways, normally if I had been editing and I didn't get housework done, or if I hadn't have pumped, that's what I would be doing when we got in there. I would give them a snack to hold them over until I got that stuff done, and then when I got it done, I would give them lunch. But because I got everything that I wanted to get done, I did take those pictures, I sent out my emails, I pumped, I'm able to go in there, get them lunch right away, and do other things. So every day it's different, because it just depends on what I get done or what I don't get done. Let's do this. I'm stalling because I don't want to do this. It's like contained in here. Right now they're in their seats. They can't go anywhere. They can't touch each other. They can't fight. They can't argue. Well, they can and they do, but it's harder in here. Let's do this. I'm ready now. Let's go.
All right, I got them some new clothes over there. We do new clothes and also washing hands when we get home. This one is playing on her playmat. They hyped her up way too much in the car for her to be interested in a nap. So I'll wear her out and get them some lunch. All right, I got the girls some lunch. I'll show that here in a second, but I also forgot to mention that they are eating kind of picnic style as of the next few days, because during the stomach flu, their IKEA table got wrecked. They got a lot of throw up on it, and it was in a bad way anyways, so I just decided to get them something new, something that they could grow into even more, because that one was already getting a little too small for them. So the chairs are here, but the table's not, so they've just been eating on the floor picnic style, which they love and enjoy, but it's been kind of a task for me to keep clean. So I also forgot to mention that I ate lunch while I was pumping. It was just a bagel. For breakfast, I had a perfect bar while I was pumping. As you can see, if I'm sitting down, I'm trying to make the most of my time, which is normally trying to eat whatever meal I'm missing out on. So that's what I do. I eat what is ever fastest, basically. I don't have a great diet. That's why I'm not like making sure to show you guys. I'm doing what I can when I can. So let me show you what the girls are eating. All right, ignore the dirty countertops. Obviously have to clean my kitchen, but some pear and apple. Sophie wanted granola and her Greek yogurt. Remy did not, so that is what they're going to be having for lunch today, and they already have water out there as well. Okay, so here's our little setup. I cleaned these guys, and then this is the frozen yogurt that we're going to be using. Yoplait, like kids yogurt. And then there's all the sticks we have to put in when we're done. And we're just going to make these for the movie later. Sound good?
Okay.
We're going to do it one at a time. Someone will get to help, and then the next person gets to help, alright?
I want to help.
I know, you're gonna. You both are. Okay, so a little bit has happened since the yogurt clip. I was finally able to get Lexi down for a nap. She's sleeping in her bouncer that I have in the kitchen. When she sleeps in her bouncer, I just move her around the house with me, get stuff done while I can watch her sleep. That way she's okay. But yeah, she's finally napping, and I think this will be a nice, good, long nap for her. She was definitely getting crabby. I could tell she needed one pretty bad. So I'm gonna wash bottles and pump parts, hence why my hair is clipped back along with being in the headband. It's a look. It's a real cute one. But anytime I touch my hair remotely, a pound of it falls out. So when I'm doing dishes, I try not to let that happen. So I clip it all the way back. The older girls are playing a video game because they were well behaved today. So I felt like it was earned, and it would also give me a little bit of time to get this stuff done. If you didn't watch the favorites video from last month, they play Rush and they play Toy Story 3 on the Xbox. Those are their video games. So they are playing Toy Story 3 right now, I believe. So I'm going to go ahead and get that stuff done. Also, a little bit of change of plans. Mark called me and told me that he's staying 2 hours over at work. So he'll be a little bit late, but we will still have plenty of time to watch Frozen. And I'll still take her pictures at 3 o'clock. I just won't have his help, so it might get a little interesting. And I won't push my pump anymore. I'll probably just do it whenever I finish bottles and pump parts and dishes. There's so many things to wash. If you're new to my channel or my videos, no, I don't have a dishwasher. Yes, I hand wash everything. I have for the past like 9 years. And yes, I do wish I had one. No, I don't have the room for it. Yes, I am contemplating giving up my bathroom in order to have one. Hope that addresses all of them. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this over with. Excuse me! I literally just put the camera down, walked away to grab something in the bathroom, came back, and here she is. Seriously. So, guess she'll go play with her sisters right now. And Mommy will do the dishes. You wanna go play? Yeah? You ready to get up? There's the big sisters. Little sister, situated. And Mom will go do dishes. Little play mat right here in this spot. I'm able to see it from the kitchen. Okay, so it's almost 3 o'clock now. I'm actually sitting down to pump. I did not intentionally push my pump time. I just started doing dishes. I'm not even done. I have to go back in, finish cleaning this one really big pot, the silverware and cups basically. Wasn't able to power through everything. I had to stop quite a few times while I was washing bottles to diffuse a couple of arguments, also situate the baby because she got tired halfway through. Also called my mom, stuff like that. So it ended up taking a little bit longer than it normally does for me to wash bottles and pump parts, and that just kind of made obviously everything else kind of drag out a little bit longer. So unintentional, but now here I am at 3 o'clock pumping. I know she's gonna be hungry soon, so I wanted to do that. I have her sitting in her, nope, chairs don't go up there, that's dangerous. They go on the carpet, not on the nugget. They will too. I'm telling you it's not safe. I want you to put it on the carpet, please. If we can't listen to the rules, we won't have chairs at all. So you choose. You can use the chairs how we're supposed to, or no chairs at all. So I had the big girls clean up the room a little bit, gave them a snack. They're now taking a break from the video games. Baby is in her activity center. I'm about to pump. I still get questions to this day about how I entertain a toddler, preschooler, baby, whoever while I'm pumping, and it mainly comes down to toys for baby and snacks and screen time for the big ones. Is it perfect? No. Do some people like it? Probably not. Does it work for us? Yes, and that's all that matters. So that is what we're going to be doing. Also, I'm having a snack while I'm pumping. I'm going to eat some crackers. Don't judge what I eat. I realized 2 days ago that I hardly ever put a fruit or vegetable in my mouth, and that'll change when I go grocery shopping, but that's not for another few days. So I'm eating what I have in my house, and it's basically all protein and carbs for me. So there we are. So yeah, I'm going to pump. They're going to eat. Baby's going to play. And that's our 3 o'clock. I pumped at the 4 hour mark. There's this. I also made her a bottle. So I made 12 ounces. I think I just did the math on my phone. I'm pretty sure it came out to 37 ounces so far. Like I said, I have an oversupply. It's not normal. Making what your baby eats is normal. Technically, right here, I've made more than she eats. So anything for the rest of the day, basically, will be extra. It is 3 o'clock though. It looks like, I have the blinds closed obviously because I was pumping, but it looks like from what I can see shining through, it looks to be some good light to take her 6-month pictures. The girls are playing with their princess castle. Hopefully nicely. We're playing nicely, right? Remy? We're listening to each other, using our words. The emotions when playing with each other can get so hot, so fast, and trying to teach them how to take a minute and to talk it out. It works sometimes, definitely not all the time. So I've been diffusing a couple. I've been diffusing fights all day, but they're not bad. I shouldn't say fights either. They're arguments. They're just not getting along perfectly today, but they're sisters who spend like almost all day doing the same thing, so that'll happen. But yeah, I'm now gonna go ahead and take her pictures. Probably after that, she'll probably start getting a little sleepy, so maybe I'll take her back out into the kitchen with me where I can finish dishes. Okay, so I'm gonna get off here and I'm gonna do that, and if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably already seen those pictures, but yeah, let's go do that. Okay, it's now 4:40, but it did not take an hour and 40 minutes to take her pictures. It did take about 40 minutes to set everything up, take the different pictures that I like to with my other camera, and then the rest of the time I've spent getting the girls situated, getting Lexi down for a nap because she did end up eating a bottle and now she's sleeping after the pictures. Mark is on his way home, but he had to stop and get gas and a couple of other things on his way home. And they are also cleaning up the living room because that is one thing I said I wanted to have done when Dad got home. That way I can arrange the nugget for them in a certain way and we can all chill out in the living room, eat our dinner, eat our frozen yogurt popsicles we made, and enjoy Frozen too. So basically scrambling to get all this stuff done so we can do that. But yeah, I got done pumping at 3, so if I stick to it, I shouldn't have to pump until about 6 o'clock, which would be perfect because Lexi's pretty consistent about wanting to go to bed at like 7:30 at the latest. Well, change of plans. Someone was up. So we had a diaper changed. We let our butt air out just a little bit. Give it some air. And now she's sitting here with Mama, trying to figure out what she can get into. Beep boop. Billy oop. Beep boop billy oop. Beep boop billy oop. Alright, so it looks like I will probably be laying here until Mark gets home with her, trying to keep as much stuff out of her mouth as possible. I'm already doing a spectacular job. Alright, well, listen. I think the theme of this video is things not going to plan. So Mark's home, and he has been for about an hour now. And Lexi is a little grouchy. Can't tell if she's tired or what's going on exactly, but she wanted to be held, so Mark was holding her, but the girls were not listening. And I don't know, just like, sometimes it just sucks because I feel like we try to do something nice for them or put a lot of thought into something, plan something out, whatever it might be, and it just happens to also be a day that they have a rough day, that they're not listening, that they're acting unappreciative and stuff like that, and it just makes you feel like, why am I even doing this thing? So after many warnings, we then told them that Frozen Night was going to be called off because they could not listen, they were not being helpful, they were not being appropriate, and after some many emotions, they asked how they could earn it back. And right now they're sorting out laundry with Dad, and they had finished cleaning up the living room. So while they're doing that, I'm going to pump. I'm hoping that while they're sorting, because the deal is that not only do they have to sort the laundry, but they cannot complain or goof off the whole time. That was the thing. They were cleaning the room, but it was, they were goofing off, they would stop doing it, they were being inappropriate, arguing, not listening, a lot of different things. And I know for some people that might be a high expectation, but in our house that's just something that they've helped with for a while now, and it's something that they're very capable of. They are two very capable little girls, and it just sucks when it has to come to that, but I'm hoping, and I think everybody's on a better understanding now that it's gonna go on. So I'm gonna go out there and pump, and the next clips I'll probably show will just be overlays, so I'll just include some music for you guys to check it out. But yeah, because after Frozen's over, we'll probably have to get ready for bed and stuff, so I probably won't check in with you guys until everyone's asleep. So I'm gonna finish up this video without my glasses. It would not focus on my face with the glare on them, so I guess it's not super important that I see you guys, just hopefully everything's in focus. But it's now 9 o'clock, and a lot of things didn't go as planned, but you know, that's kind of usual. That's that's typically what ends up happening, is nothing goes according to how we think it's gonna happen. But we did eat dinner, and then we got the frozen yogurt pops out. I don't know what you want to call them. And the girls loved them. They ate them all. They thought it was really cool. And we arranged the nuggets so all of us could lay together and watch Frozen. And it was really cute since they've seen it before and they've wanted to watch the soundtrack, listen to the soundtrack ever since seeing it. They knew all the songs, so they were singing along. And it was really cute because it's Mark's first time watching it, and to hear them sing, it's just adorable. Mark's laying down Lexi. She did fall asleep during the movie, and I could tell it was a pretty deep sleep, but now she's kind of cranky. None of us really realized how late it was. When the movie was over, I happened to look at my phone and it was 8:30, and I was like, oh my gosh. So it was well past everybody's bedtime, and I'm just hoping he can get her down, and if not, I'll have to step in. So as soon as we get her laid down, I will go ahead and I will pump, and I'll probably stay up a little bit later and then pump one more time before I go to bed. So I don't know how many pump sessions we're up to, but I will give like a total and the amount of ounces I have whenever the video ends. And I can watch all this back and do that because I haven't been keeping track today per usual. So I'll check in a little bit. Okay, so it's now 11 o'clock. I pumped at 9. I got done around 9:30. I got 7 ounces from that. But then I went in and I helped Mark lay Lexi down because she was having a hard time. And ever since then, she's been like not really waking up because her eyes aren't open, but like almost whining. Like it's hard for her to get a deep sleep. I don't know. I'm hoping we're close now, but I thought we were close like a half hour ago, and she just had one of those little episodes, so I don't know. But I mean, she did just turn 6 months. I'm sure that there's a growth spurt and a leap happening, and yeah. So she's got plenty of reasons why she's probably having a hard time sleeping. But I am gonna do my last pump of the day. I will let you know right now what I made in this last pump. And then right now, I will tell you how many ounces I made the whole day long and how many pump sessions. Just keep in mind, like I said, I'm an oversupplier. Totally normal to make what baby makes. I'm the odd one out. I did miss taking you guys along for my days. Now that I know I can bring you in my car and have a place to put you and talk to you while I'm doing other stuff, I'm probably going to make a lot more of like the chit chat kind of videos, or even these types of videos, because I feel like most of my time during the week is spent in my car. So it's just been kind of hard to like want to pick my camera up because I never knew what to do with all the different time. I think I was slowly letting the camera down. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. Been trying to get better about going to bed at a decent hour, but I'm still not good at getting up at a decent hour either. I'm just still struggling, but yeah, I'm gonna get off here to this last pump. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and as always, thanks for watching.